explode up, make it come all at the same time.
This is the Rick Chamberlin Show, an up-close look at Dayton Flyers football through the eyes of the coach.
Get width and depth, square up, that's it.
Now, here's your host, Mike Hartzell.
Right there, that's it.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Rick Chamberlin Show. You can feel it's getting to be that time of year because the chill's in the air. The shorts are in the locker still. You gotta leave your shorts and go with the long pants, don't you?
I had to go with the long pants last night, Mike. What an atmosphere out there. It was a perfect October evening there, the chill in the air, and it just, I think, added to the energy that was at Welcome Stadium.
Nighttime football, Dayton and San Diego. You usually played San Diego night games when you're out there a lot of the times, but a night game in the Pioneer Football League is sort of strange, but this one had all the settings of just a perfect day.
It was, Mike. I mean, you had San Diego coming in, who was undefeated in the PFL, and us having only one loss. We needed to have a big victory to stay in contention for the league title. And then to add the lights to it, and then October here, it was in the low 50s, upper 40s. It was a perfect setting there, and then two great teams going at it.
Coaches don't like their guys to remember too much, but there was a chip on your shoulder coming in after they drubbed you pretty good last year.
They did, and our players were embarrassed about it. We were on a roll at that point when we got to San Diego. We'd won three, I think, games in a row, and they put it to us. Very talented team, but we didn't play very well. And from that point on, I thought our players really took an attitude of determination back to 2012, and it just carried on into this season.
This one was a lot of fun yet last night at Welcome Stadium. Let's take a look at first half highlights, and they start right out of the gun. They go on their opening drive. You had Mills here, but he gets away and gets the first down.
Yeah, I tell you, that Mills is elusive. I wouldn't say he's the fastest quarterback, but he makes people miss, or he's strong enough to get out of the bag, get out of the clutches there, and here he found a receiver again.
And he knows where everybody is at all times, and that's the mark of a good quarterback. You can't move it on your opening drive. They get the ball back, and here he goes again running around, but this time the red jerseys catch up.
We get to him there, and that was something we had to do.
This was the strangest drive I'd seen in a long time. Long pass down the field, touchdown for them. Wait a second, it's called back. They end up having a 2nd and 40 on this drive and convert on a first down because of a play coming up right here that you're going to see. Watch the quarterback scramble. They called this roughing, and it was an incomplete pass. It gives them a first down.
First down, automatic first down. It was odd, Mike. It really was.
Had the quarterback back by the ankle. I didn't know that was a target zone. But here's 4th down. Mills scrambling, throwing into the end zone. Nice play in the back of the end zone to knock the ball down.
That was a big play, Mike, because all at once, if they score, they're up 14-0 in the first quarter.
Problem is you've got the ball on the half-yard line, so you've got to go 99.5 yards. Here we go into the second quarter, and here's 61 of those 99.5 as Will Bardo goes in for the score, and it's 7-7.
I tell you, that really helps you to cover 99 yards if one of them's 61, and Will just saw a seam. He has the speed to outrun people.
7-7, so after looking to go up 14-0, it turns up to a 7-7 ball game, and there you go. Defense starting to key in a little bit.
We're getting into them, and we knew we had to. We couldn't let him just sit back there and pick us apart.
Will starts looking for number 88 this time. Gabe Maces had a big day, caught 8 balls. There's one of them over the middle. 112 yards, and you're in business.
We're moving the ball, and, Mike, we needed to. We said all week our offense had to move the ball, score points, because we knew it was going to be tough to stop San Diego offensively.
Great catch by Maces at the goal line. Somehow he held on to that ball.
He held on to it. I thought at first when Will threw it, it was going to be incomplete, too low.
Still 6.5 minutes left to play before halftime. Give the ball to their running back. You bottled up their running game early, but then they busted a couple on you.
They did. They made some adjustments, made some plays there that caught us off guard there, but here goes Mason Mills again with a perfect pass.
Fade route for a touchdown, and it's 14-all with 3:20 left to play. The Flyers had some opportunity. Will scrambles out of the pocket and runs for it, but not going to get much as the clock winds down, and we go to halftime at 14-14. And you look at that game, you look at the start of that game where it could have been 14-0 in a hole. It ends up 7-7. You wonder, should they have kicked a field goal down the 1 yard line to take a 10-0 lead? Ifs and buts, right. You know, that's the way it goes.
Right. I would have done the same thing, Mike. I mean, you're a yard, less than a yard. Your thinking is, okay, if we don't get it, that other team has to get out of that hole there, and you still should have good field position.
All right, second half got even better than the first. Let's go back out and check it out. Here comes Connor Kasser, starting to run a little bit. Kasser up the middle for some big yards.
This was very important for us coming out. We got the ball first in the second half, and then one of Will's best passes downfield all year.
Touch pass to Gary Hunter, and he takes it down inside the 20, and here's Kasser running hard. Kasser was really tough to bring down last night.
He was. Kasser is always one who has the quick movements that can accelerate, but I thought this game he showed his strength and power.
Flyers go up 21-14. Here comes Mills again looking. Probably shouldn't have thrown that ball as Zach Elias picks it off and brings it back the other way. He looked like he was going the distance.
He did. They ran a bootleg here, and Zach made some good plays, but you know that California speed there, that's their top receiver, Bell, who caught him from behind.
They catch him at the 20-yard line. Can't get anything out of the drive except a will field goal, and it's a 10-point lead.
I tell you, you had to get points out of that, and no matter if it was a field goal or a touchdown.
24-14, here comes San Diego back again. Mason Mills in trouble. Still looking around, buying time. Now he's going to just keep it. He's going to get out of bounds, and there's a push by Beechler, and that's going to be an extra 15 yards.
It all started back here. We had two shots at him, Mike, and we should have brought him down here. And then their running back, Ferguson, just a power kid who just drives Sabetic back.
He lowered his shoulder and knocked him inside the 5-yard line. Now, early fourth quarter, fade route, that's interference called on Sabetic, and it's going to give him first and goal at the 2.
At the 2 there. It's just a tough chore there, and here they go to the fade again. A nice touch pass by Mills again.
And that's their big receiver. He caught a couple of those kind of passes in the second half.
Now we have to, offensively, we get out, and we're answering. We're moving the ball.
Connor Kasser around the outside. This time Will looking for the quick hit. This is a nice catch, but then Ian Palin coughs it up, and San Diego's got the football.
Got the football by a great play by the linebacker there, punching it out.
Mills going back to work down the sidelines. Tough catch here. The defender was all over.
It was all over. That was the best pass I thought Mason threw all night.
Pump fake this time, and there's the big guy catching another pass over a smaller defender, and all of a sudden, what was a 10-point lead is now a 4-point deficit.
Yeah, I tell you, I thought the momentum had shifted here, and their defense was still playing very well against us here. And Will is one bad choice here, trying to throw back across the field, and luckily we were able to get him down. Defense had to come out. Our goal is, Mike, hold him to a field goal.
And you did just that. They kicked the field goal. They go up by 7 points with 7.5 minutes left to play. It's all on the offense now.
It is, and here our defense is on a third down play. We had to stop them because if they got the first down, then they were going to run the clock down.
Here comes Will going to work. Masis over the middle, makes a nice catch, and more importantly, gets out of bounds because that was key right now.
Yeah, being able to stop the clock with less than 2 minutes in the game here.
Stewart makes a catch for a first down, then go back on the outside, and there's your touchdown to tie it. With Masis catching the ball on the outside. Actually, the extra point tied it. Those were very big. 27 seconds left. It's all tied at 31. They get one more chance throwing it deep, but Sabetic's able to grab it at the goal line, and we go to overtime for the first time in about 2 or 3 years.
It has been since 2010, Mike.
So we go to overtime, and the way overtime works in college football, I'm not sure if you're a fan or not. It's pretty much the same way high school football works. You get it at the 25-yard line, and you keep going at it. That's dangerous, though, with a team like San Diego.
Oh, it is. I mean, you give them a short field with their receivers, with that running back Ferguson. 25 yards is not much for them, and the rule of thumb is if you win the toss, you go on defense because you want to find out, okay, how many points do we have to score because each team's going to have that opportunity.
So the Flyers do win the toss. They go on defense, but the very first play, Mason Mills over the middle, touchdown.
Yeah. We had a safety come running up on the run fake there, and you can't give that open space to Mason.
So they're up 7. Here comes Bardo back to work. Pass over the middle. That's an interference call at the 10-yard line. Flag comes in, and the Flyers get a first down, and the ball moves.
Got the ball moving here. And a nice, nifty run here by Connor Kasser here again, being able to get us down inside the 10. And Connor here, I had a bad angle on this, Mike. All once I saw a big cluster, and the next thing I saw was Connor slipping into the end zone.
38 all now. The Flyers get the ball first in the second extra period. Again, it's Kasser outside. He gets about 7 or 8 yards around the outside. Then you're going to give it to him up the middle. He goes into the scrum and pops out. He almost got into the end zone. They call him down at the 1. You didn't give him any time. You set the line quickly and got Bardo in.
Yeah, I thought that was a great call by Chris Oakes, our offensive coordinator. They were back on their heels, catch them even more.
So it's San Diego's turn. First couple of plays, they moved down. Third down, inside, knocked away by the defense. Colin Manier was there. Now it's fourth down.
Fourth down. They have to score for it to go into more overtime. And we put pressure on him, and he overthrew.
The pass was just a little bit high, and on the scoreboard in double overtime, the Flyers come away with a 45-38 win, and you got your wish. You're right there in the Pioneer Football League chase.
We are, Mike. We're right into it now. There's 3 of us that are tied with 1 loss, and then Butler, who has no losses. They won again yesterday. They go out to San Diego this coming week.
All right, that'll be interesting. We're going to continue in just a couple of minutes on the Rick Chamberlin Show. We're going to talk more defense up front on the line with Victor Kaskowski. That and more in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Rick Chamberlin Show. It's not often you get a chance to coach brothers. The Kaskowskis are both in uniform for the Flyers.
They are. Victor, the oldest, is a 5th-year senior, a defensive end for us, and Nick, his brother, plays our Flyer, nickelback, and a number of our special teams. He's a junior. And they come from a football family, Mike. Their father, Tom Kaskowski, was the head coach at Ohio Northern for a number of years. We actually played against them. Back Tom there in early 2000, we got to play against Ohio Northern one time.
Vic's a guy who came in here as a defensive lineman, linebacker type player. He's on your defensive line and does a nice job.
He does. And the best thing about Victor Kaskowski, his motor never stops. I mean, he goes as hard as he can and just plays every play like it's his last one.
And Vic's running out of plays as the Flyers approach the end of the season. I had a chance to sit down and talk with him about his season and his career.
Oh, I love it. I played linebacker in high school, so coming here, it's like going from having all this responsibility to just go see ball, get ball. It's a lot of fun.
Vic Kaskowski is a perfect example of a player who's had to adjust. You don't find many 240-pound defensive ends in college football.
Just got to do what you got to do what you got to do. I mean, 240 pounds versus 300 pounds is tough, but we make it work. Just technique, staying lower than he is. Using all these things that we learn from our coaches, and they make sure we're prepared, and we just use our technique.
One bonus for Kaskowski is getting to play with his younger brother, Nick. This 5th-year senior didn't need a lot of convincing to come back for one final season.
I mean, besides some financial aspects, I was back in a heartbeat. I mean, all these great guys, all these friends, it's wasn't a tough choice at all. Getting to be around a lot of just good people. I don't think you'll find a concentration of this many just good individuals, good dudes, quite in many places, other in life, it's tough to find that. I don't know. I guess if I had to miss one thing when I leave, that'll be it.
You look at all these 5th-year guys as the season winds down, it's becoming more of a reality for them, isn't it?
It is, Mike. I tell you, they know that right now they have 4 games left in their career, possibly 5 if we can get into the playoffs, but 4 for certain, so they want to make the most of it.
And Victor's in a mix up there in the front. You've got a good mix, good rotation of defensive linemen.
We do. Coach Turner and Coach McCoy, who coaches our tackles and our ends, has a good depth there where we can rotate people in and keep them fresh. Like the game against San Diego, we had to keep people fresh, keep the pressure up as best we could.
Another time out here on the Rick Chamberlin Show. We're going from defense to offense when we come back, talking with Ross Smith, one of the wide receivers. That and more in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Rick Chamberlin Show. Have you ever met a wide receiver who didn't think he was open every play?
No, Mike, I have never met one like that at all. They all think, hey, I'm open, just throw me the ball.
Every play, and whether it's an NFL receiver, a high school receiver, whatever, they're open every play. The quarterback just didn't see me.
Didn't see me to get the ball to me, does it?
And admittedly, that's the way Ross Smith is. He tells us that, admittedly, but that's what you got to be as a receiver.
You got to have that confidence that you can get open and that you can catch the ball if the quarterback throws it to you there. That's half the battle, is to have that confidence, and you don't want them just having stone hands when the ball comes at you if they're unsure, and Ross Smith is very confident.
Confidence is nothing this senior lacks. I had a chance to talk with him about being open all the time.
Oh, in my mind, I am always open, and I tell my roommates that, and everybody hates me because I say it all the time. Even though I'm a film, I'm probably not open all the time, but you know, that's the mindset you got to have. I'm always bugging coaches, you know, hey, throw me the ball here, throw me this route. They probably hate me because of it, but you know, every receiver, if you're a competitive person, you're going to want that ball on third down, and you know, I love that. So if you believe that you're going to get beat, you know, then you don't deserve to be out there, and you don't deserve to be making the plays. But if you have confidence in yourself, then you make a lot of difference on the team.
Ross Smith isn't the fastest receiver the Flyers have, but he's easily the most dependable. He caught 26 passes a year ago and is well on the way to surpassing that total this season.
When I came in here, I didn't really know what the real difference is between coverages and, you know, how different routes, combinations of routes, you know, like if I run off on the outside, I'm getting the guy inside, you know, open, and I just kind of understand the scheme of the game better, which is something I just kind of played when I first got here, and now I kind of understand everything that's going on around me.
The suburban Columbus native has made some big strides since he set foot on campus. But in only his second season as a starter, Smith is still a work in progress.
Just kind of being 100% like thorough in everything I do. You know, not messing up, not taking off a play here because the ball's not coming to me. You know, just doing the small things and just understanding. You know, like I said, I'm understanding a lot more, but I can always understand, you know, more of what's going on around me. And you know, once I know what everything's going on around me, I think I could be a lot more complete of a player.
He would fit into the category of possession receiver. You like to find him on third down when you need a catch.
When we need a catch. He's a strong body, Mike. He's not a small kid, but he has great hands, and he can run excellent routes to find the opening in the zone defense.
He's kind of been Will's favorite target the last couple of weeks, but then last night, until late in the game, he didn't see the ball.
He didn't, and that's good for us. That's good on our offense. When you have receivers, a number of receivers by committee that Will can go to and have confidence that they're going to catch the ball.
All right, the Flyers on a 3-game winning streak, averaging 44 points a game in that streak. Can they carry it down to Moorhead next Saturday? That and more when the Rick Chamberlin Show continues. Welcome back to the Rick Chamberlin Show, and every other year it's that trip down to Moorhead. We were just talking about it. You guys can't even stay in town.
We can't stay in town. They have one hotel that could fit a football team and furnish food and all that, and it's already booked because it's homecoming down at Moorhead. So we got to stay about an hour away.
Toward Lexington?
Towards Lexington. Mm-hmm. And we're still going down on Friday, of course, to practice. We'll then go to the hotel, spend the night, and then get up a little earlier and head towards the stadium.
Moorhead is an interesting team in that they've got a whole new staff, and it took them a while because they struggled early.
They struggled early. They really did. And weren't scoring many points and just not being able to win against teams that I thought they could beat. But they've come on the last couple of weeks. They're scoring points now. I think their offense is starting to get into sync there.
So you look at their personnel from what we saw a year ago. You handled them pretty well here last year.
We did, and I thought they came in down a bit. They had lost a very close game where they had been ahead, then they got beat late, and we got up on them very fast there. Now, they had a great quarterback last year who late in the fourth quarter started throwing the ball downfield and making some touchdowns there, but we had a very good game against them, so we hope to continue that this week.
Let's go back out and check to see what happened a year ago. You throw the pass over the middle and score a touchdown, but they come right back and hit on a touchdown of their own, and this was one of those games where you get up early on a team like this and you can get them down and hold them down.
You can there. And I tell you, it was always kind of a concern, though. Their quarterback was so good that all at once, if he gets hot and we don't play well offensively, then they can start making a comeback.
The Flyers head down to Moorhead this week. As we look at the slate of things, it's a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. If you can't get down to Moorhead, not a bad drive, about a 3-hour drive down there. But if you can't get down, listen live to Larry and Coach Kelly on News Talk 1290 WHIO Radio. That is a 1 o'clock start. And they're all big now because you look at the way things are going in the PFL, and you talked about it. Butler goes out to San Diego, and San Diego is going to have a little bit more momentum there, or a little bit more want to, because they lost here yesterday.
They lost, and they'll want to stay in contention, just like we wanted to stay in contention here with our game last night. And so that'll be a big battle, and we just got to keep ourselves going. We can't worry about what happens out there. We got Moorhead next, and we got to play well to keep us momentum going towards the end here.
Because remember, folks, it is one game at a time. That's what they always preach. And you don't look past this one to Butler down the road and Drake down the road. There's some big games coming every week here for the last month.
It is. Last night, Mike, at the game, we had 50 recruits in for this game. There was a number of them from all over. And after the game, I was talking to a few of them. I said, this is what you get to experience in the PFL. Yeah. Games like this each and every week. Big game.
And as you look at the health of your team right now, I know you got some guys nicked up, and you got some guys, especially in your secondary, that are really hurting a little bit.
They're hurting a little bit. They're especially at the safety position. We're already banged up there with Matt Bianco not being able to play with concussions there. Now Nick Weston is starting to have some stinger problem, which kept him out of the whole season last year. So we're hoping that those relieved and can come back. Other than that, at the safety position, we're doing okay at all the others injury-wise.
On the other side of the football, after some early struggles, which you may have expected in the non-conference season, Will Bartow is really starting to get a lot of confidence and feel that he's running this offense.
He is. I tell you, last night, by far, was Will's best college game of his career. I really felt against a very good defense there, and he just made the throws when he needed to. Like I said, I thought he made one mistake there on that interception, but other than that, he ran well, he threw the ball well.
So it's the Flyers and Moorhead State, and it comes up on Saturday at 1 o'clock down in Kentucky. Coach and I will be back to take a look at that game and more Flyer football next Sunday on the Rick Chamberlin Show. For the coach, I'm Mike Hartsock. Thanks for joining.